All right, welcome back. This is episode 4. So if you've been watching the whole series, you're kind of caught up, know what's going on. If not, so we're out here. We got a 10,000 square foot, all concrete walls, concrete floors, made to look like kind of like resemble an old French countryside estate / castle. And now we're putting the roof on it. And the guys have been out here for about 2.5 weeks at this point, I think, something like that. And the roof is, as I'm recording this, we're done. So I've just got to get through all the editing, and it is awesome. So I can't wait for you guys to see it. So what's going on right now is that is the roof, the little peak over top of the library. And on the plans, it called for a 15-12 slope. And the engineer, though, called for a 12-12 slope. And we didn't talk about it until he had already framed it up. And I said, you know what? I think it looks pretty good. Let's see what it comes out to. And I love it. You'll see it completed here in a moment. And the curved areas and the gables all got zip. Everything else is getting 3/4 sheathing from North Carolina. This thing is beautiful. I love it so much. I'm so happy that Raymond and I figured out these overhangs. If you don't like it, keep it to yourself. I love it. Love it. They still got to do a little figuring and stuff there. And all under here is going to get a stained wood. I don't know who's going to do that. I got a new trim guy, so that's probably who's going to do it. Y'all meet him over at Major. We'll be back over at that project. Whoa, huh? What in the world? What in the world? Get up there and tape all that. All right, big door there goes into what we're calling the sitting room, Christmas tree closet. That's exactly what it is. So this room, we don't know what it's going to be. It was originally on the original plans we purchased. It was a dining room, but we don't need that. I think it's more of a formal living room, which we don't really need either. Jackie loves Christmas. There'll be a Christmas tree in there. We just roll out, it's ready to go, which I love. Boom. We got to build our wall here, but that's self-supporting. But we got to figure out what's going on, how we want the final look to be here, which a lot of that's going to come up to the trim guy. Should come in, the foyer is huge, which we wanted. That wall will come out here. Here, let me turn on the GoPro so I can see. It'll come out more in this area and support that. But we'll have to do some sort of something there. My guess is we'll end up making that look like a beam. Is what's going to happen. Jackie's office was huge, like everything else. So still got to build this wall. So it's actually from here. And then that's a hallway. The hallway gets arches at each end like we did downstairs. Wow. So that comes across in there. I'm seeing some of this for the first time too. I've been had to go to New York, unfortunately. Oh. That was a super nice piece of lumber. It was. Had to go to New York. Jackie's uncle passed away, so we went up there for a celebration of life, as they called it. Met a lot of her family, so that was nice. And of course, her extended family. Got to hang out with her brother some, which was good. Up here, that comes in and makes the vaulted ceiling. And then the rest of that is all attic. Let's go up there and see what's up. It's funny, as I'm videoing this, 30 minutes ago, I was doing the voiceover for the first video. That's how far behind I am. But that's how it is. So let's see, that'll come up. That was just temporary to hold everything while they were building. So coming across here is going to be a wall with a door. That's a bonus room. Not bad. I want to give Talbert's props, even with all the, lumber just used to support things temporarily and all that. They got pretty good. All the sheathing comes in Friday. They'll finish. They've got all the zip sheathing for all the curved areas. And I probably talked about it in early videos. It was going to be zip R 12 with the foam and everything, but then they don't warranty it for use on a roof, which seems stupid. We got 23 30 seconds LP 350. That's gonna go on everything. And there you go. Oh, I see they went ahead and, oh, I didn't see that. They went ahead and did our hurricane ties at the bottom. Start sheathing the side of that tower. Josh came in here today. Hear my echo. Woo! Once we get all the insulation and everything, it'll be fine. But he went ahead and started wiring up the outlets. We're doing all 20 amp in here. And then he started wiring up the exterior outlets. And then for here, so that wall's gonna be sheetrock. I'll need to make the decision in the next couple of days, but right now I think the rest of it's going to be brick. If it is, then have the wires poked out with a metal box that they can put into the brick as they go. And this is a bathroom I put in here. Originally it had no bathroom, and then I was like, hey, probably need a bathroom. Made it a full bath with a shower too, just because this is so big, if it can be overflow. Yeah, see how that goes down. You know, so people are in here from out of town and yada, yada, yada. They can have some place to stay. Got to pick out the stone for the front. I don't remember where I left off. A little bit after sunrise. It's kind of a cool shot. Big storms coming, so I don't know if they're coming today. Our plan is to be in by summer. We'll see, right? Okay, let's take a drone shot here. Everything has come a long way. Still a long way to go, but definitely is nice to see this coming together. You can see the green zip on the end of the gable over there. And then there's the little tower. On the left-hand side, that's getting a telescope dome, which I need to get on and getting, actually. I'm behind. Just thought about that. Little sneak peek. Casey and the guys doing the arches. I've got a lot of footage on that. I'm just going to put all my brick footage together at some point and just do a video that's nothing but time-lapse brick happening. I decided to try flying the drone inside, but I was over on the corner. I wasn't even inside, or else I would have flown it a little faster, but kind of a look at things coming together. Flying into the breakfast area. So they're using the boom truck, crane truck, to lift up this 3/4 inch heavy sheathing. Felt bad, but worked out. It's just like we started with the office on the framing. They're over there sheathing the office and getting a lot of the sheathing up into the attic space, so they'll be able to just, they put it through the rafters and start stacking where it needs to go. And they build themselves little footholds as they go. Great crew. They worked hard every day. I don't have anything bad to say about this group. So if you're in North Carolina, they're located more actually towards Burlington, so they'll be framing up a couple of houses we have going on there. But yeah, if you need a framing crew, highly recommend these guys. So now more sheathing going on. If you look through the rafters, you kind of see them putting the sheathing on the back side. It's always nice to see everything kind of coming together. And then they flip around to the front side and knock that out. Looks like we got most of the sheathing on the office done. Then moving over to the breezeway. Then we're connecting up the roof in this corner. Something like that. You can see from this side that the office is sheathed on this side as well. And then through the main door, you got Okie Dokie working on the master bed office, or closet. Here's the progress for today. They've sheathed
all of the office roof and at least this side of the breezeway, and then started to move over over the sitting room on this front side of the house. They also, you can see, started sheathing up that peak. We'll walk around the other side of the office now. So they also got all the sheathing on this side of the office and the breezeway. And you can see there's a few more sheets of sheathing that we couldn't see from the other side. I think they also added some onto the roof there from the radius onto the rest of the roof. That doesn't really change anything for the office here, but we should notice that besides the window and the door, no water should be able to get in now, except, you know, through any little cracks or something. They put up this wall that goes into the library, and then these walls for the primary bedroom closet, as well as the one that blocks off the rest of the the primary suite here. They still need to put a wall about here that divides off the bathroom, and then put the ceiling in, which will mimic the shape of the roof. I don't know if that's called vaulted or whatever, something like that. A lot of progress being made. I don't know what else specifically they might have done, so I'm just giving a little pan across here. I don't remember if that was done before. Maybe not. Yeah. I imagine they'll be coming in the next few days because now it shows rain next week. So it would be nice if they could finish the sheathing before the next rain comes.
All right, good morning. I'm back. Ta-da! Can you tell where I went? Woo! We did our Disney trip. Jackie is, you know, everybody's either, I'd never go to Disney. Why do you go to Disney? Wait. Ooh, wow. We're way down. Man, we've dropped a foot since I was here. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, so, yeah, she's definitely raised on Disney. So we've been, I think, 4 or 5 times together at least. And, yes, we have to go to Disney at least once every 2 years. Now, the nice thing is, and let me slow this thing down while I'm this good. The real nice thing is that she runs it all. So I just roll along. It's great. She knows where everything is. She does all the little apps, sets up lightning lanes. So it really is way nicer than when I've gone and I had to figure it all out, which sucks. So, but the cool thing is, I have not watched any footage that Josh made because he ran everything while I was gone. I haven't seen anything, and I have not seen the house yet. So you're seeing it with me, and you're getting my real reaction. Wow. Okay. We got some sheathing. It's nice. Wow. So I don't know how much I talked about it before. Woo, there we go. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, that thing's kind of loud. I really feel like the side-by-side is louder than it should be. Like I said, I don't know how much I talked about it This is called LP Top Notch 350. It's actually made in Roxborough, North Carolina, which is where one of Talbert's places at. I haven't asked them if they're associated with it or how that works, but it's OSB, but it has a coating, so it's very similar to Advantech, which is what you'll see us usually use on floors. I feel like, and you know, everybody's got their opinions, but we feel like it's a superior product to plywood on, you know, these applications, because it's got a coating, and so unlike regular OSB, it can get rained on and stuff like that. But this is also 30% cheaper than plywood that's thinner. So we went back and forth about, man, we don't really need 3/4 or 30 seconds. We were like, we really don't need 3/4, but couldn't argue with the price, so that's what happened. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah. Let's see. Yeah, they're hating me. All right. So you see where they left that hole out? That's where the tower goes. So Josh was wondering how that ties in. We'll see the tower comes up. And so then they just frame the rest of the roof into that. And then there's a cricket he's got to build for a watershed. This is Advantech. I've got some of that left. So that's going to be for the flooring of the attic. So the guys, they only worked, I think Raymond's crew only worked one day last week. So they were working on another project. We also got some rain, so it was a good time for us to be gone, actually. Juan and Rick A were the ones working here, so they got a lot of interior done. I have not seen it yet. And let's see what we've got. So we walk in, this is a front porch. We've got to pick out our door. I'm talking to a company that makes custom doors, and they're known for like, well, it's different styles, of course, but they've got a ton of like cool castle doors where they're more solid, and I think that's what we're going to go with, so we're going to talk to that guy. All right, so come in here. It's the foyer. Fill that in. Those come across. So instead of having the peak ceiling in here, we will have a flat one, but it's 2 stories high. I guess that's the trade-off, because we needed to support that. We got a library, so that'll be flat. Come in here. This is the library. So we've got our door. That's round. He asked if we could put a ceiling in here. I said no. So what'll happen here? Yeah, think about that. If we're gonna do a cross beam, but regardless, you're gonna see stained beams here. You gotta figure that out. Okay. That's later. I'm not too worried about that right this second. This hallway is supposed to get like that one where it's got the curve, the arch. So this is a hall. Goes into the living room, but I've always seen that stuff, so I'm gonna wait for that. That goes all the way out. That's nice. This is the closet. So you've got a door into the foyer so you can come out of there. We went back and forth on whether we were going to have this here. It's like, do we really need a door here? So you've got your hall, and then you're in the deal. But I think I'm going to make this, this won't be a conventional door. I believe this is going to be, they call them Murphy doors, I think. There's a company that called Murphy door anyway. But there's a company that makes like the hidden doors. So it depends on what we finish this wall out with. I think I'm going to have it where it just blends in. And then we'll see how much we use it. Yeah, that's like a little coat closet. So people come in because there's no coat closet in the foyer. So you can throw stuff in there. Okay, so he was going to put a ceiling in here, but Jackie doesn't want a ceiling, and I agree. So we're just going to go on that. shower's going to go on that wall. Continue that on up, so I'll let them know that tomorrow. So that wall continue on up, and then so when you come in here, this is going to be a 2-story closet. So we'll put a wall there and close that in. Okay, the units were supposed to sit on top of Jackie's office, but we ended up with so much with the walls coming down and everything that, I mean, they've got to be in this area. I think I'm gonna have them do another, like we brought the hallways down a little bit. I think I'm gonna have to do another ceiling in there so that I can put the units there. That's okay, they'll be able to handle that. Okay, so then you walk out of there. This is your door into our toilet area. Is stupid big. I'm just realizing that. I think I knew that, but look how big that thing is. That's stupid. I mean, it's a toilet, but you also have the urinal in there as well. Which, now that it's all done, kind of regretting that. I feel like it would have been better used to come in and have 2 doors and 2 toilets. Whatever. That's fine. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Okay, anyway. All right, so this is the bathroom. So there'll be a wall here. So that's that wall they were building. I'll come out here. That's still a big bathroom. I think we've gone back and forth. Jackie wants to wall up and then have just one entrance into the shower, which will be fine too. But I think it's gonna close the room in. I'd just rather leave it just open, but I'll probably lose. That's that door, you know, originally it was over there, and there is that double fireplace that comes in here. So that takes up a decent amount of space too, which, funny thing is, neither one of us are big fireplace people, but we ended up putting a couple in. We took a couple out, but we did leave a couple in. And, you know, it's doubles for the bedroom and for the bathroom. So this space is definitely gonna start closing in some. So there's the, yeah, see, because that's where the, what do you call it? That's for the gas line. Yes, that's a big box. But the whole fireplace sits in here. So on the bedroom side, you just see flat glass, and the fireplace, there's nothing sticking in there. So that's why it's big this way, but that's okay. Ends up being vanity here. And like a makeup thing here. I just saw he put a hole in the ground. Which size is that? Okay, yeah, that's for the sink. I gotta talk to him about that. Okay. Okay. What is that on there? Interesting. Okay, yep, so I see what they did there. This, okay. That goes all the way up and transfers the weight of that down. However, yeah, they're still gonna have to get together and figure out what they want to do, because this ceiling gets built. Raymond will have to figure that out. All right, so this is the bedroom. That's your bed. Here's the fireplace, TV, doors over there now, which is better, because we were like, you put the door in here, and but I mean, 9 times out of 10, you're going to the bathroom to use the bathroom, go to the toilet, versus going to shower. So you walk through and you're right across from the toilet. That just made more sense. Okay. Place for the tub there. the window. So Jackie just has to let me know what kind of ceiling she wants in here. I think it's going to end up being a tray, which I don't even like tray ceilings. I'm like, bleh. I mean, they're just boring to me. But I got plenty of stuff I'm getting my way, so it's fine. There's plenty of stuff I'm getting my way. If she wants a tray ceiling, that's what she's going to get. The only other thing we could do is we could leave it open like this, but you see that becomes problematic. I mean, it'd be like the foyer. You end up with the flat part in the middle because you got all that coming in, and then it's angled there and angled here. Wouldn't be the end of the world, but that's just so high. I just feel like, whatever. That'll be something for me to figure out. See, this is usually what I'm doing before I'm filming for everybody. I'm like kind of looking at things, thinking about it. Whatever. Okay, so that's that. That'll get built up. That'll all be open because we'll build the shower once we finalize that. We do have to put a ceiling in here. Our bath ceiling is not going to be that high. So yeah, we'll have to figure that out. Okay. And he did tell me that's what he was leaving. It was the ceilings were the last thing for us to figure out. So he did not lead me astray. That door opens in like this. Okay. Then you have Jackie's office. Okay, so you enter in here. That's all her office, which turned out great. It's plenty big. She's got the double glass doors that look out. Wow, I put that there. Yeah, because she wanted to have room behind her desk to slide back and have a bookcase there. So that's fine. That's the floor box I put in. So she'll have bookcases behind her. Desk will sit here. She's got her look out. She's got plenty of wall space where she can do stuff on the wall she wants. TV. Yeah, TV's right at the door though. I think she's gonna want me to put the TV to the side on the angle probably. In fact, she talked about not even wanting a TV, but I think she'll have one even if it's just on the cameras. Yeah, a lot of cleanup needs to happen. I'll probably bring the guys in tomorrow. I should have had them come in today. We could have blown things out. What the hell happened there? Huh. Interesting. Okay. So coming out of the bedroom, walking down the hall. It's just a regular hallway, nothing crazy. It's not too skinny. It's not too wide, so that's good. It's just boom, boom, boom. Got a little window there in the closet. 2-story closet. There's some cool stuff we're gonna do with that. This comes in, you walk out through here, bam, you're back in the foyer. You've got this hallway, walk through here, and now we're into the big old room here. Okay. Oh, I haven't been back there to see that. They got sheathing there, so that's nice. Okay, so they have not done any of this ceiling yet, which is okay, except for I would have expected them to go ahead and do them. Well, they've got the brace still there till they finished all that, so okay, that makes sense. Kind of hard to put ceiling when you've got bracing going on. Okay, I think I've shown all this. Wow, yeah, I'm starting to feel it. Yeah, starting to be kind of cool. Kind of see what's going to happen and where things are and blah, blah, blah. All right, so Jose's coming back this week. I got to get with the plumber. There's a few more things for him to mark out and then to talk about. He's going to core drill for us. He already did a bunch, finished that. And then we'll see if weather holds out like it's supposed to. Then I expect that Raymond will be done this week. If he's done with the roof framing this week and sheathing, and I mean, Juan can be done too. Framing's done, bring the plumbers in. They can finish their rough in up here, so all that's ready. And then I'll bring, Gustavo's gonna help me out. So Josh and I are gonna do a lot of the electrical wiring. You know, Josh already did my office, or started on my office. So we'll come in here together and knock that out. And windows will be in within 2 weeks. Doors will probably another month and a half. I mean, we should be dried in. What's this? This is beginning of October. I mean, we'll be dried in before Thanksgiving if everything works out right. I mean, well, we definitely with the windows. Windows will be dried in before Halloween. If the doors come on in, we'll be dried in before Thanksgiving, which would be great. Yes, they just got to finish all that over there. So they got to build that tower. Then they'll be able to come across and tie all that in. Okay. So before the end of the year, here. Ta-da, ta-da. All right, always being asked what the timeline is and the goals, and I really haven't talked about it much because this is a part-time project. You know, obviously I've got other big projects going on, and we've got several large projects we're getting ready to start on that are gonna be awesome. Brian, guy that you've seen that does my deliveries and everything, that they own the lot down the street that has the pond on. It was that lot on the first lot that Chris put a pond and everything in. So we're gonna start building that. Hopefully break ground this year. We're going over all the final plans tomorrow. So that'll be great. That's gonna be a real nice one. And then Quincy's house, and there's so he bought some land, and it's like some of his family's. It's going to be like a little compound kind, I guess. But anyway, so we've got 3 houses to build there. It's going to be busy, which is great. We're very thankful for that. There's some people that have slowed down right now, so we're very thankful to be busy. But timeline, yeah. See, I get off track. So timeline should be dried in and all rough ends done before the end of the year. And then, and probably insulated too. And then, so that means sheetrock trim, paint. Yeah, we should really be looking like something by February. That's the goal. You know, walking through, looks like a wall's done, everything looked like a house. So in by summer is the current goal. Obviously, paying jobs will always take precedent, or take priority is the right word. So we'll see what happens with that. Excuse me. Yeah. All right. Like I said, I don't know. I'm editing. I've got video 3 edited. Oh, why am I even telling you this? You would have already seen it by now. Anyway, video 3 edited. I've got to do some voiceover. There's video 4, which is pretty weak right now. So I'm assuming whatever Josh filmed is going to go in with video 4. And then the final video should be, hey, everything that happens this week, which will be after this. So yeah, so I am telling you some information. Well, let's go look and see what the brick ended up like. I see they started coming up with this. Okay, let's see. They got this done. And they got the arches in there. That comes up. All right, man, that's gonna be beautiful too. That's what I've got to work on today. I totally spaced and didn't get done before I left, but there's supposed to be a light in each one of these columns, but they have not. Well, they built the whole column though. I can still drill in, run a fish tape up, and it'll pop up the back side. And I can run my wire, so I need to do that. Get that knocked out. I mean, because I'm going to talk to them and go ahead and come up with we've got motorized screens going in here, and I was going to put a channel in for them to have to deal with, but I think I'm just going to cut it in later because it's not as deep as the brick. I don't know, I got to think about that too. Or I can attach it to the edge. It's black, so it'll just look like the black frame actually, so I don't even need to sink that in, I don't think. That's a decent little step up. It's not terrible. You know, this was one of the first floors we experimented with. I do feel like down the road we're probably gonna end up tiling this too, or not tile, but like a stone. And that was one of the things with doing all the floors in here. Because of me being a contractor and having the subs, it really wasn't any extra. I mean, the coloring was extra. But other than that, I mean, if we want to ever put floor over it or tile, or, you know, there's something we want to change up, we can always do that. So, but we want to start with this, see how we like it, save some money. Okay. Yeah, little things. I've got to come out here and do the cabinet layout so that they can put blocking in for all the cabinets. So you want to put all your blocking in, so then instead of measuring where's my studs for mounting my cabinets crap, you have good blocking for all that. I'm gonna have them block over top of that because I'll actually access that from inside, not outside, which it doesn't matter. They'll block that off, and then I'll have a place to put my manifold. Same thing for that, because I'm not going to buy 2 manifolds. And see, that's not load bearing, so they can cut that, and we can put a manifold in. I need to cut those back anyway. Lots of little stuff as usual. Okay. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for watching. This is getting exciting, I guess, right? They've had to been using that lift to lift the top notch up. It's only ready for 500 pounds. I'm about to get on a little bit about that. Let's see how straight that is. I guarantee that's what they've been doing. But I guess if it works, it works. Okay, that looks good. Wow. Okay. That thing's cool. I love it. Love what we did with the overhangs. Okay, they've got that up there already, so they're gonna get that. This whole place is gonna be looking crazy next couple days. Something just fell. All right. Okay. This finally has a roof. So next rainstorm, I've got some, we of course have to put our ice and water shield on, and then we'll start seeing no more water in the house. Would be great. We're gonna buff all these floors. I've got the buffer. So once everybody's done, we'll buff. We'll obviously clean up, and then we're gonna buff all the floors. There's a texture enhancer we're adding, and then clear or seal all of the floors. Okay. Yeah. Need to get in here with where's my skid steer? I need to get in with the skid steer and clean some of this up. That's all right. Okay, yeah, we'll come down that valley. Wow. Definitely some milestones. See how this whole thing slides off here. If we can get somebody that wants to get rid of dirt, or if I can get my project going, then I believe at least to out in here we're gonna level up the dirt, but it's not terrible. Yeah, see, the guys need to work on, I mean, they got that brick to work on. Yeah, once they're gone, I clean up all the wood around everywhere. I'm going to be able to get all the topsoil we'll put over the deal there. Yeah. Okay, well, enough yapping. Let's do it.